We've got 6 crews from Turkey, Switzerland, Hungary, French are there, the Austrians, and the crew from the Republic of Moldova. So we'll go through and talk you through these boats individually. So there's the Turkish, Kane Aydin and Aydin Sahan, and Kane Aydin, only 18 years of age, in the bow seats, junior medalist, the World Championships. There's a Swiss pair, Martin Langer and Yang Jona Project, coached by Ian Wright, the New Zealander, who took the Swiss crew to gold in the Rio Olympics, then went over to Australia. They're just 21 and 24. There's the Hungarians, very well known on the rowing scene, Adrian Juhas and Bella Simon. Way back in 2017 in Sarasota, we saw them win the Cox pair at the World Rowing Championships. That was a hell of a race, and they had a hell of a finish in that race. They'll need one today if they're going to progress further. 2 Frenchmen from Verdun, Etienne Juliet and Esteban Catoul. Both men won the trials for the French pairs, which gave them the right to contest this event. So that's them. Here are the Austrians, furthest away from us, deep in thought, Christoph Siegfriedsberger, the 25-year-old bowman, and his stroke, Bruno Bachmeier. And then finally, Chili Vistov Sestrikov and Alexandru Mashnitz, closest to us, from Moldova. First 3 crews will go through to the AB semi-finals. The remaining crews will go through to Final C. So you want to be in the top 3, and it's a great start early on by the Austrians, Greg.
Yeah, the Austrians getting away from us well there. You can see them 2 up from the bottom of our picture in the white boat. And as you say, all these crews have raced already this morning. They wouldn't have wanted to be here, but yeah, there we go with the Austrians up. High rate of striking, 46 strokes a minute they're doing, and that's getting them away into a quick early lead. Interesting, they've jumped the 2 crews beside them in lane 3 and 4.
Yeah, how important is that? I mean, the French are back out of qualifying in about 4th or 5th place at the moment, still rating 40. I mean, they've lost quite a lot of ground early on in that race. I'm just wondering how important that is, whether they're going to have much of a middle thousand to take them back into the contest.
Well, it's a real all-or-nothing kind of race, isn't it? So it's kind of interesting to see, like, this Turkish pair as well. You can see 40 strokes a minute. They're going out for it pretty hard because it's a bit of a sprint. You want to steal a position, get up into the top 3. But we would expect the 2 crews in the middle, because it's shaped like a chevron, to be the 2 quickest, because they're the 2 who did the best this morning.
So the Moldovans on this near side, Cyril Vistoki-Shestakov and Alexandru Mashnitz doing very well. There are the crew in this near side lane 5. Christoph Siegfriedsberger furthest away from us. Bruno Bachmeier from Austria. Robert Sens, the chief coach for Austria.
They're leaning back into this headwind, aren't they? There's a reasonably strong headwind. It looks to me like they're really trying to sort of row the finish. So if anything, it's a little bit shorter coming forward, but then really sitting back and leaning into this headwind.
There's that Moldovan pair we talked about, Vistoki-Shestakov on the left of your picture, Mashnitz on the right of your picture, and the Moldovan pair, quite a young crew, 24 Vistoki-Shestakov and 23 Mashnitz, doing really well to be up there. And certainly, you know, you wouldn't have picked them to be out in front of the French at this early stage of the race. Still a lot of racing to go. The French not in the picture. I keep mentioning them because they've won their national trials.
Yeah, the Swiss here looking pretty smooth, sort of quite compact really, aren't they? But you can see them just bumping over the water a little bit, just catching the blades a little bit there.
Say they look a little bit tight up top to me.
Tight up top, well, that's what it feels like, sort of compact looking. Rather than that real back lean that we saw from the crew in 5, the Austrians.
750 metres gone, and it is Moldova who edge their bows in front of Austria. Great first 750 from the Moldovans, and we don't often see a Moldovan pair in the lead in the World Championship, so this is something to celebrate.
Well, I think this is going to be a fantastic way to start this little short session we've got here, because I can't think that the Hungarians and the French are not going to make it into the top 3. So I've got to think that some fireworks are going to come from those lanes 3 and 4. But the Moldovans here are doing plenty to make sure they're not the ones who are going to get caught out.
There we see the Austrians, just to look across to see where the Moldovans are from the Austrian strokeman, Bruno Bachmeier. And a little bit of steering adjustment there. Still no move from the French, and Hungarians obviously move on the field in terms of 1,000 metres. It's got to be a big third quarter from the French if they are going to get back in the race.
I can't help thinking they might be catching up with the crews at the top of the picture. Moldova, to me, are looking very good out in front, as are Austria. I think it's the crew from Turkey and Switzerland who could get caught. But we're over here on effectively the sort of right-hand side of the course. We're in this grandstand, and these crews will just be desperate for the finish line to come because they've gone out early. They're going to be carrying a lot of lactate, a lot of pain in their muscles. It is a headwind, and it is still 850 metres to go. You wouldn't really want to be in one of those boats now because it's going to hurt.
No, we haven't got boat speed on the course, but I think we see there the combination from Austria. Pairs on the far side, that's the Turkish pair and the Swiss pair going toe-to-toe. The French are coming back into it now, Greg. You just see their bows, number 4 coming into the picture. They need a big sort of 1250 to 1500 to get them back in context for the last 500 metres. They might have chance of a third place, the French pair.
I think they might well. I think the Moldovans definitely gone to qualify. Here we go, like having a look at that French pair. Like you say, they won the French trials. They're moving pretty well. They had a big race this morning, and they were up there until the third quarter, and then just got pushed down to have to be in this repechage at all.
Yeah, so they're going to have to do something which they weren't quite able to do this morning in that third quarter. They still haven't moved enough back on the Swiss, who are in that third qualifying position. Moldovans, look at them go, wow.
Yeah, no, fantastic for this crew from Moldova. Now we're going to get a look here. You see all 6 crews in the shot as we're coming through now. 500 to go. Moldova have definitely done enough. Have Austria done enough already? Will someone catch them with a big last 500? The French look like they can definitely put pressure on the Swiss to make it through, but you could even have a press from Hungary coming at them as well.
You could, and I think it's the Turkish that have dropped off on that far side after a good showing early on. French have moved into a qualifying position. The Moldovans, coached by Velenu Barabas, out in front. That beautiful, long, lean style of theirs. Boat flowing on nicely through the back turn. The Austrians are still there. The Turkish are still there on the far side. I didn't call them out of it, but they're there on the far side. The French...
No, I think the Turkish are out of it. I think they're just gone out of the picture. I think it's Hungary and France coming up on Switzerland. We're going to have to wait and see till we get a better picture of them.
Yeah, that might be a good shout, Greg. Look at that.
Here
Look at the race. Is that the Hungarians or the Swiss?
That's the Hungarians that come flying through, isn't it? Hungarians, they've been rowing together since 2009.
We saw them with this finish at the 2017 World Championships. What are they rating,
we
Greg?
Did. They're at 50. They're at 50, Martin. As you said they might need it.
Oh,
they're going to come all the way through to second. They were absolutely out of it. They're in front of our position now, out of the window.
The French are going to be out of this.
Well, unless they can catch Austria. Yeah, the Hungarians have come through to second place. Unless something catastrophic happens, they've got second. France can't get back at Austria, can they? Despite Austria going out bravely, carrying a lot of pain with them. They've seen Hungary come past.
You've seen something remarkable in this race. 50 strokes a minute from the Hungarians. Sensational. Moldova win. No celebrations from them. They should do. Austria just take the win over the Hungarians. That's the first 3 into the AB semi-final. France miss out. Will go through to the C final together with the Turkish and Swiss boats.
Brilliant. Rate 50 from Hungary.
Oh, my God.
And well done, Moldova, taking that one on.
That was a really sensational race.